Hello, my name is Josep, and today we're going to do a marble sponge cake that I think it's really nice, very tasty, and I hope you enjoy the cake and also all the process. So first we're going to see the ingredients. The basic ingredients are 5 eggs, a little spoon of salt, another little spoon of vanilla. Then we have 200 grams of sugar and 250 of flour. Then we have 125 grams of pastries chocolate, it's very specific. Then we have 125 milliliters of milk, 50 grams of butter, and then we have baking powder, 8 grams, and this is all we need to do the marble sponge cake. Firstly, all we have to do is to have a little bit of water, and we are going to put it to heat up a little bit. Okay, and when the water is almost boiling, we put the fire at the minimum. We put a little recipient, and we put all the chocolate and also all the butter inside. Now that we have here all the stuff, we let it melt, and then now we're going to do another step while this thing is melting. Now what we need to put it to the oven, it's an 22 centimeter of diameter recipient, and then we need also a little bit of baking paper just to cover all the interior, and then to put all the mix. Now that we have the bottom covered of the baking paper, now we have to cut it with a scissors or so, and then we need a little bit of extra butter just to cover all the perimeter of the recipient. Now, as I said, with just our fingers, and it needs to be firstly cleaned, we can cover like that all the perimeter of the recipient, just like this. Now we have the 5 eggs, and now what we have to do is just to separate the white from the yolk of each egg and put it separately in one bowl, and in another one the other part. So we start cracking the eggs like this, then we separate the yolk, and then we mix it again right to the other part of the egg to separate, and it's quite easy to do it. Now that we have done it, all we need is to add the salt we have here, to put it to the whites, and then with our hand mixer, all we need to do is to beat the eggs till they are like point de neige, that it's called in French. Okay, once we have this, all we have to do is retire, and then we need to add to the eggs, we need to add the milk and the little spoon of vanilla essence, and then we have to mix it again with the hand mixer. Now I forgot to say that we need to add also the sugar. We add all the sugar, and then with the mixer again we start to mix again until it's like a creamous thing. One little tip we can have to assure when it's the correct point is when we have little bubbles at the top. So when we have it, we have to stop because the mix is already mixed up together. And now we have to put this with the other one. Now with a stainer we have to put the flour in, and we have just to move it, just to stiff the flour, and just to have it with no like points, let's say like big rocks of flour. Once we sift all the flour, we come back to the hand mixer and we mix all till a point that it's a little bit thick. I forgot to say that we need to add the baking powder also, but now I've added and mixed it, and let's hope we didn't make any difference in the result. And then all we need to do is to add little by little with involvement movements the whites with all this mix that we have here, and like not doing it at the normal movement, because if not this will be like a liquid again, and what we want is to have it like a creamy thing, just to bake it better. Now when we have all the things mixed and we see that it's a fluffy mix, we stop moving, because if not we'll have the problem we told, like just a moment before. Now while we are finishing our last steps, we put the oven like at the top and at the bottom, and approximately to 175 degrees, and we let it like reach this temperature while we are finishing our recipe. Now what we need to do is to separate this quantity of mix in two parts, and then to one part we need to add the chocolate, the melted chocolate with the butter we have here, and in the other one we need only the other part of the mix. So as we have said, we separate a part of this and a part of this, and then we add the chocolate. Just to make sure that it doesn't get out when it's baking, we add a little bit of paper at the sides of the recipient, and then all we have to do is to add these two bowls by steps. So first we add a little bit of this, then we add a little bit of this one at the top of this one, and then again the same process, just to have it like separate by colors, and when it's baked it has this marbled effect that it's quite nice. Now that we have this, as we have said, with like little like layers, all we have to do is to with a fork do little cuts like this, just to have the pattern we want. In my case, I'm not very trained at all, but I will try to do it quite smooth, quite nicely, like this. Then we move it a little bit like this, and like this it is. And then when we have finished all this mixing, all we need to do is to put it to the oven and bake it for 1 hour. Then we have it in the oven, so we put the timer and we put it for 60 minutes. And when we finish, all we have is to take it out of the recipient. Now after 1 hour, we have it here. It's baked already. We took it off the oven and we let it here until it's cold, and then we unfold it and we serve it. And that's it, and that's the preparation of the marble sponge cake.